A lot of times people say that the first offseason is really where they make a lot of growth. How do you think you've kind of grown the most in your game this offseason?
This offseason, I would say I grew in every aspect. Just kind of having that experience from my first year, carrying it into this offseason, setting high standards for myself and not allowing myself to just settle for like average. So I would just say just in all aspects, mental, physically, emotionally, just even in the playbook, just all over getting better.
Are you someone that puts expectations on yourself for a season? Do you have certain number? You don't have to say certain numbers or goals or touchdowns in mind for the season.
I would say not more so touchdowns and stuff, more so like awards or goals like that. Of course, the goal every year is to win a national championship as a team. But I always have personal goals in my mind, so just to keep myself going every game, every week.
Can you speak about your offensive line? You've got a group here, a core group that's been in the program a long time. Obviously, Alex had some problems last year with injuries and things like that. But can you address having those guys up front and blocking for you?
Man, it's great. They're just so experienced. They get every call right. They've been here for a long time and understand college football and how it works. And it's just like having a bunch of ancient masters just in front of you. You don't know what to do. So just back there, I just feel like I'm just protected. So, I have trust and faith in them, and they go out there and do what they do, and I just do the same thing, and we all eat.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a little while since the Oregon running back room wasn't Travis Dye and C.J. Burdell. What did you learn from those guys, and is there pressure at all to try to replicate what they did?
No pressure at all. Those are two great backs. Coming in, I just observed and watched how they work. C.J. was a hard worker. Travis was a hard worker. Toughness. Just talk with them daily. I still talk with Travis now. We just encourage each other. But there's no pressure at all. It's just that was that group of backs, and we're a new group, so we're just looking to make a name for ourselves and just continue the legacy.
Losing those two guys obviously hurts, but now it gives a chance for guys like you, Whittington, to step up and play a little bit of a bigger role. Is there kind of an energy in the running back room this year for you guys to chance to step up and play some big snaps?
Yeah, it's a big energy. Everybody wants each other to do well, so I feel like that's where it makes it a lot more enjoyable. We're in practice, just coaching each other up, talking about making this move, making that move. So it's really just everybody working as one to achieve our goals.
How do you feel like you guys complement each other skill set wise?
So for me personally, I like the way that Noah runs his outside zone, and so I talk to him about that, and he just kind of tells me how moving a certain way will make it easier to get vertical. So it's just like little stuff like that. I talk with Bucky, just kind of just picking his brain, just seeing how he is as a person. And then Kilo, also another running back, I talk to him. He's very elusive. So I just kind of watch the way each guy plays, and we just talk about it regardless of how we feel. We just talk about it. There's no pride involved.
Is there anything you feel like is your strength?
I would say a lot of stuff. I know myself. I know my capability. I know the work I put in, so I don't see a weakness in my game.
What's the one area that you put in the most work in the offseason to improve?
Mental, just my mindset. Because if I tell myself I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if you just have that mindset, then physically you're going to grow by putting in the work. But if your mindset is there, then it's going to allow you to believe the work that you're putting in is going to help you later in the road.
Do you ever get tired of seeing Noah and Justin line up across from you day after day?
No, I love that. Those two great guys. We go back and forth every day. I know a lot of linebackers aren't going to play like them. Those are like the guys at times. But we have to practice. During practice, we just talk about just pass pro, how they read stuff, how I read it. We take care of each other. We're not trying to kill each other out there, but we give each other work. I love it every day. I like competition. It makes me better. It makes them better too.
What's that relationship like off the field? Are they coming to you off the field and telling you things where you can do better to make other teams miss, or where you're telling them something that they did great that is really going to get someone else in the game?
Yeah, it's both ways, both a two-way street. I mean, just in pass pro stuff, Noah talks about how they're coached and just how it can help me just keep myself square, stay in front of the blitzing backer. I mean, it also just Flo just talking about just making moves because it just keeps guys off balance. And I talk to them about how I read and how I read my inside zone, how I read the backers, and go just little stuff like that. But I mean, it's overall, it's just like we just help each other out. It's not offensive, defense. It's just team.
You mentioned there's kind of a sense of teamwork within the running back room, but obviously there's also kind of carries up for grabs. And everyone wants to be the guy. How do you kind of balance those two things, helping each other out, but also trying to become that guy?
For myself, I always pour into others, regardless of what it does for me. I know that at the end of the day, I put in enough. I put in and going to continue to put in work. So I don't look at it as with a selfish mindset of, oh, I have to do this for myself. It's if one eats, we're all gonna eat. So I just kind of just take the pride out of it and just help my teammates.
In addition to there being like turnover personnel-wise in the running back area, you also have new coaching. Dillingham's been adamant about like being more explosive. What have you seen? Like, how excited are you for those like opportunities to get downfield and make big plays?
Man, he just watching him from other schools film, and he also recruited me when he was at Florida State. But I mean, now that he's here, it's like we have a lot of time where we talk, one-on-one meetings. He always tells me he's gonna use me to the best of my ability. So I appreciate that. I feel like I have a lot of qualities I can help with this team beyond just my athletic ability also, but it's a lot of stuff that we got looking forward for this season. I'm very excited.
Your career at Florida State, what brought you here then? What was that deciding factor?
The biggest reason why I came to Oregon was initially I was going to commit to Texas A&M. I had a great relationship with Coach Robinson there. The day before I committed, they called me and said that some stuff happened and I wasn't able to commit there. So talked with my mom and dad literally 30 minutes before I went on the IG Live, and Oregon was the school. So that's how I ended up coming here, and I always just tell everybody that God has stuff that works in ways that we don't understand in the moment. And I mean, it was a great choice that I came here, and I have a great opportunity, and I'm just thankful for that.
To follow up on an answer you gave a little earlier, how do you feel this new offense utilizes your strengths?
They utilize my strengths with my speed, my ability to lead a team through my actions, my catching out the backfield, and just overall play-style athletic ability. So I just feel like all aspects of my game, they use that and find ways to put me in positions to be explosive and to help this team.
Going back to your parents and their influence in football and obviously your choice to come here, did you have any preseason chats with them about Twitter Spaces and talking on there?
Shoot, mostly my dad. He's on there a lot if anybody is on there. But I mean, shoot, my mom, we just kind of stay out of it. But we all talk about it. It's always fun to talk to them. But I mean, it's mostly my dad with those Twitter Spaces. And I hopped in, I think, once, just kind of talk to the fans and everything. But I mean, I like to stay out the media, just kind of just put my head down and work.
To have your parents support and be so invested in you and your football career, what does that mean to you? How important are they to you? I mean, just in your athletic ability and just life in general.
My parents are very important. I appreciate both of them very much. They have helped me through some situations that were tough at times. I always have great advice, or enough where I can just kind of take that and then take my own reasoning and put it together. But I mean, just kind of with that support, it allows myself to know my worth and my value to a team, a person, anybody. And so it doesn't allow me to settle for just mediocre.
Byron, what are your thoughts on the quarterback battle that's been waging since the spring? And do you have just a thought on each guy?
Man, they're great guys, you know. It's off the field, always laughing, always talking. Ty, I've been with him since freshman year, so we just kind of grew that relationship, being around each other. He's a competitor. He loves to compete. He wants to get better. He's a very selfless guy. He could have easily left when Bo transferred, but, I mean, he welcomed him in, and that just shows his character. Bo came in, knew he had to work. He didn't come in with a big head, and that shows his character also because it was very easy coming from the SEC, which a lot of people look at the SEC as big-time football. But he came here working, wanted to get better, sat down, me and him, we go to eat, and go to just go out and get breakfast sometimes, get a little extra throwing in. But they're both great guys, and I'm just excited. Whoever is going to be the starter, I'm rocking with whoever, but whoever's going to be the starter, I'm excited for that.
Do you have any Justin Flo stories or moments from practice or off the field, whatever it may be?
Any story?
Anything that jumps out to you. I mean, he's such a charismatic guy.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, that dude is always smiling. He's always hyped in the gym, in the weight room, on the field. There's never a day where he's quiet, you know. And for me playing this sport, there's always that one guy on the team who just gives everybody the energy. And I would say for game day practice, he always brings that juice. So it's like you either match his intensity or you just kind of go to the side. And I like that because it brings out that juice in me also at times on days where I'm feeling kind of just like, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Being a running back, I mean, and having to go through a hole and then you see Justin and Noah. I mean, like, I know it's just practice, but how do you think that's going to prepare you for teams like Georgia and then down the line, just more physical opponents, at Utah maybe, something like that?
It's gonna prepare me very well. Just facing those guys every day in practice. Those are guys who are gonna bring it every day, and just like in the game, those teams linebackers are gonna bring it every day. It's just gonna allow me just to stay on my A game, stay on my toes, always perfect my craft, continue to work, and never be complacent.
There have been some pretty good backs to wear 21 at Oregon over the years. LaMichael, Royce Freeman, a couple of those guys. Some of the fans are even saying they see some of LaMichael's game in yourself. Do you kind of feel like you're carrying that torch forward, and are you aware of the number 21 legacy at all?
I'm very aware of it. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna make 21 in my own way, but I respect those guys and appreciate what they've done prior to me coming here. I don't feel any pressure at all. I just feel it's an opportunity to make a name for myself.
What's the biggest difference in the scheming from last year to this year as far as the offense?
I would say the biggest difference would just kind of be the coaches using guys more to their strengths, not capping guys on what they think is best for them, kind of just looking at them for what it is and using them in that way. I feel like it's also, too, it's just fun. It's like playing football in the street growing up as a kid out there. You go to practice, it's not like you don't feel like so much pressure. It's just practice. Like, you know, you have to practice hard and play so you can play hard, but it's just really fun every day. And just having the opportunity to go out there and play this sport, it brings a lot of joy to me, and I know a lot of joy to my other teammates.